And so please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
More like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy.
Is this
No,
is this really happening? He met the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now that you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
no,
fair.
but you're more in the category like Luther Arnold. Okay?
My man. Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic. That's great, partner. You two ever go out place everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go. We head to Kroger's, and we work.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God. And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog. How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes.
can you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
How
I
do you do it?
mean,
Teach
the
me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you know you gotta get the smile going on some shoes. But
Wait, hold up.
you got.
I gotta
when
try
it's
this.
time,
with
when,
you.
when it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try this
you gotta
with
think
you.
of something funny
All
and start
do,
laughing.
do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
This is sexy eyes right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. What's up, everybody? I hope you guys are all doing well out there, enjoying your time. You know what I mean? It's Thursday, so that means tomorrow is what? Gonna be the weekend. You got one more day until the weekend. It's a blessing, y'all. It is a blessing. Sorry for being late today. It was a little bit of a busy day, and I lost track of time. And then next thing you know, I got these puppies, y'all. I got these puppies, and they taking up my life. I'm not gonna lie. They're taking up a lot of time, and now they're at the place where they are literally crying, screaming bloody murder pretty much every single day, and I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what to do. I love these puppies, but I kill them dead. You know what I'm saying? Oprah, Color Purple, Harpo. Anyway. If you haven't seen Color Purple, go see it. It's a damn good movie. But anyway, I love these dogs. Like, I really do love these dogs. But they do take up a lot of time. And, they're puppies, so they're whining. And no matter what, their whining and their yelping is very, very loud and high and piercing. And it just takes up a lot of energy to find patience. And I know a lot of people would be like, well, wait till you have kids. I ain't got no kids, so I don't have to. I can wait. I can wait on the kid part. You know what I'm saying? I love these puppies. They're cute as hell. The cute as a button. You know what I mean? Cute as hell. But the crying and yelping over anything, whoo, can't wait till they get old. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait till they learn the laws of the land. You know what I'm saying? So there's my thing, and that's why I was a little late today. I apologize, being hella late. But unfortunately, today's show is going to be a very short show, a lot shorter than usual. But we will be taking phone calls here in a little bit because we are going to be talking about. I will be throwing up a question to you guys, and I want to hear your thoughts on this particular situation later on in the show. The main question I'm going to be throwing out to you guys, or the question of the night, is what are your thoughts on the Ted Cruz Cancun situation? Are you willing to give him a pass, or should he answer for this BS? Just what your thoughts are. I will be opening up the phone calls here very, very soon. I promise you. Sarah said, Pascal, puppies are way harder than kids. Ain't that the truth? And I ain't got no kids. Have mercy. Amen to that. I don't think I could handle kids right now. You know what I'm saying? With how crazy my schedule is and how busy I am, I don't know if I could do it. These puppies alone, man, I'm telling you, I love them. They're cute as hell. They're cute. But just shut up. Just give me 15 minutes of this quiet. Just a little bit of quiet. Just a tiny bit. You know what I'm saying? But I digress. Looks like T's really hard in concentration over there. How you guys doing? I'm with David and T. What's a guan, guys?
Hey, man. Not much. Yeah, everything's good here. Just I was looking at this ferret that they just cloned not too long ago. Apparently, they just cloned the Blackfoot ferret back into existence because it was gone before, and now it exists again. That's pretty cool.
How about they bring back the dodo bird?
No,
I'm just saying it's extinct. Bring back the dodo bird, man. You know what I mean? They be extinct.
That bird was useless. It really was a detriment to its own self.
I mean, it was useless. Yes, I understand that. But sometimes, you know, there are people on this planet that are useless. You wouldn't want them to just perish, to be gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, unfortunately, those people multiply quickly as well. So, was that rude? I apologize for that. That was kind of rude.
About the dodo bird?
Both.
You know, the Association of Dodos is really upset right now. They're going to be sending out a very, very heated and passionate email to the Pascal Show now. Thank you so much. Thank you, T. I'm just going to be like, it was the other black guy, not me. The other guy. The guy with hair, not me. It's his fault. Suspects. You know what I'm saying? His email address is, you know what I'm saying? Send this ish to him. You know, I was the one supporting dodo birds, man. Come on now. Damn. Anyway. There's a lot to talk about. We got a lot to cover today. David, how are you doing? I'm sorry, T, how are you doing? He was just talking about ferrets. Like, hold up real quick. Who wants a ferret, like a cloned ferret so badly? A black-pawed ferret of all things. Why? Who? ¿Por qué? Okay. It's like, hey guys, we finally got to clone a sloth. It's like
I think the idea, part of what makes it interesting is that it's like hard to clone an animal back into existence because you need something to carry the baby. So that's why, like in the past, they began a project that they never finished to clone a woolly mammoth back into existence, and basically the plan was like to go through 6 generations of elephants with clones to get back into existence. But with the Blackfoot ferret, it's so close to regular ones, you can bring it back into existence with just like 2 generations.
Word. Interesting.
Yeah.
Bring back Tupac.
Tupac every 20
I'm just saying, how many generations of humans would you have to go through to get Tupac back? You know what I'm saying? Even Biggie. Huh? You know what I mean?
But the thing about humans is you have to like have them in the same environmental conditions to shape their minds. You know what I'm saying? So although it'll still be them, they won't have the same experience to shape them. Yeah. So
that's true. That's true. Tupac will be coming out sounding like Tucker Carlson up in this piece. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
I'm sorry. He's just like, I ain't mad at you.
Sit him back.
Oh, I love it.
Try and get an interview with Tucker Carlson now, man.
Please, can we make that happen? And I'd be like, why do you exist? Why? Why? I'm sorry. I know that there's some Tucker Carlson fans out there. I'm sorry. He's just a very interesting individual. Yes. Clone Tupac. Let's bring him back. You know what I mean? So we can get some more hits. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
please.
Maybe he doesn't rap anymore. Maybe he does something totally different. You know what I'm saying? You got to really have him be in that mode of, you know, shaping him through the 70s and 80s and 90s, which is going to be hard. You know, times are different.
Right.
Yeah.
How disappointing would it be if you clone Tupac and he just becomes a TikToker or something? That would be so disappointing. But
hitting the whoa, you know what I mean? The entire time. Bust it. I'm like, oh, God.
So
stop.
waste of talent. Like, oh, jeez.
I would grab him by the collars and go, no, you don't do this. You know what I mean? I would, oh, my God, I would be so passionate about keeping him on the right path. You know what I'm saying? As much as I could. You know what I mean? But yeah, you got a point. It'd be a totally different person. It'd be a totally different person if he was cloned. Damn. Well, you know, wishful thinking, y'all. Wishful thinking. So black-pawed ferrets, that's a thing. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. You know, a lot of see, this is where I see a lot of like hipsters with money are going to go and like try to buy one of those things because, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's different. Keeps them outside the box, you know what I'm saying? Keeps them like a little bit outside the box, but they still have a pet. But it's like, I got a pet.
There's definitely a market in like cloned animals and bringing back cloning endangered species.
Right.
It's kind of a black market, but it does exist.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It's illegal, right? In this country, right?
Cloning?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
to
mean like the
sell,
animals.
anyway. Well, it's not illegal for science purposes now.
No.
Oh,
But you said black market. That's why I'm saying Tupac. Come on, y'all.
Sure.
David said, "It's true." I'm serious. He come out. Woo! Please make that happen. Oh my God. Anyway, that's interesting. That's some interesting information, man. That's some interesting information. But T, how are you?
topic is, yeah, I'm good, man. This is a good lighthearted introduction to tonight's show.
It's
so
all good.
I'm definitely enjoying
As it
this
should
laugh
be.
right now.
Yes, as it should be. Every single mother loving show, it should be light, unless there's a disaster. Unless there's like a disaster, like Texas, you know what I mean?
Last night,
you know what I mean? Hashtag, heart Texas, prayers, praying for Texas, and for all you guys who are listening and everything. Real talk, you know what I mean? We hope you guys are staying warm somewhere, okay? Because I know that's still the end of a 4th day of no power still, and that's ridiculous. But we are going to be talking about Ted Cruz and his stupid ass. So we're going to be talking about that here soon. We will be. But, the thing is that I wanted to bring up something about, I wanted us to watch something. Because a lot of us might not know, like a lot of us are going like, who's Rush Limbaugh? I can't say his name, like clean, straight through.
Isn't it Limbaugh?
I think it's Limbaugh. It's just Limbaugh.
Okay.
It could be Limbaugh. You know what I mean? Limbaugh. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just sounds like a song or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. But anyway, a lot of people want to know like who the heck.
Folks, there's
Whoops, sorry. Jumped the gun there. A lot of people want to know who the hell is Rush Limbaugh. And hey, I did it clean this time. But the thing is the thing is everybody knows that he's a bombastic radio personality, a voice of the conservative, a voice for the conservative, et cetera, et cetera. But one thing that I found very, very interesting, and I wanted to share with everybody, for those of y'all who don't know who the hell Rush Limbaugh is. Clean again. Well, here's a nice little compilation for your asses. Just so you can kind of get an idea of who he is. Rush Limbaugh's every racist moment. Yeah. We're going to watch it. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the racism.
folks, there's actually a debate going on ESPN and throughout the sports world over who can use the N-word, when, and how.
I'm sorry. I'm 12 seconds in. I thought they were going to warm up, yo. I thought they were going to warm I thought they were going to warm us up. You know what I'm saying? Like kneading the bread, kneading the dough. You know what I mean? Getting nice and limber. But 12 seconds in, he's already trying to justify using the N-word. Oh, I love this.
Up in the morning saying N-word, brushing his teeth.
Yeah, he's like, that's how I keep my teeth white. Anyway.
And who can't, when, and how. A little history lesson for you.
Oh, here we go.
If any race of people should not have guilt about slavery, it's Caucasians.
I don't know if I want to go through this whole thing. I will be laughing the entire time. I swear to God. 28 seconds so far, guys. Woo! Have mercy. Oh.
The white race has probably had fewer slaves and for a briefer period of time than any other in the history of the world. No other race has ever fought a war for the purpose of ending slavery.
Okay, why do I feel like he's the dude? He's like every white grandparent right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people out here that still think like this. They say this stuff out loud. Well, the white people, I mean, you should give us credit because we decided. We fought for you guys. We fought to stop racism. Not racism, to stop slavery. We stopped it all. So you give us some credit. Go ahead.
I just want to point out that Britain in the 1700s, along with the Turks, were the biggest shippers of slaves in the entire history of time. So if you just count by the sheer numbers, both the Brits and the Turks traded more slaves than most nations ever had in terms of slaves. So there you go. I mean, because Britain pretty much created the industry of globalized slavery of Africans. It didn't exist before then. It was slavery was generally much closer regional until that point.
Yeah. So, knowledge. Thank you, David. But there it is. And this is a guy who's sitting here. He's got by the way, that's the only positive thing I could say about him so far is that microphone be fire. Okay? Let me get a gold-plated microphone. Please. And thank you. That microphone fire. But he's spitting nothing but trash. Wow. That's a really expensive microphone to be talking all types of misinformed information. But okay. There you go. People listen to him.
Which we did. Nearly 600,000 people killed in the Civil War. It's preposterous that Caucasians are blamed for slavery when they've done more to end it than any other race. It's preposterous that Caucasians are blamed for slavery when they've done more to end it than any other race.
They had to repeat that just to make sure you heard that. Yeah. Okay.
They have discovered that Obama does have slave blood. Slave blood.
All I could do is laugh about this, by the way.
I had never experienced the kind of euphoria that I got from a pain pill.
The Republicans are just totally bamboozled right now. They think they've got to rebrand, and it's all predict they got to reach out to minorities. The Republican Party lost because it's not conservative. Why does putting Condoleezza Rice front and center at the convention not work? Why does putting Marco Rubio front and center at the convention not work? Why does putting Suzanne Martinez, the governor of New Mexico, front and center convention not work? So, nigga with an...
He really just went there. Okay.
He said it on live air.
He literally said it on the air. I'm telling you, I haven't. Okay, I swear to God, on my mother. Okay, I swear, I have not seen this video. I just got this clip because I wanted us to watch it together. So I'm watching this with fresh eyes. I promise you. But this dude really just said that word right now.
A on the end.
Ah.
Well, I think I can now. Isn't that the point? Because it's not racist. That's the point.
He's still obsessed with this.
I could be talking about a male. I could be a Chinese male, a guy at the laundromat. I could be talking about a man. That's what she said it means. Because it's not racist. Because it's not racist. Because it's not racist. How many Native Americans, how many Indians were killed by the arrival of the white man through disease and war? And how many people have died since the white man arrived here due to lung cancer, thanks to the Indian invented custom of smoking tobacco? Who are the real killers here? Where are our reparations?
How ironic, right?
What?
This dude dies of lung cancer, right? From tobacco. How ironic.
What is going? This.
He's just trying to be so misleading with it.
Sure,
Britain outlawed slavery of Europeans in the 1700s. They didn't outlaw slavery of anyone else. Us was one of the last countries to outlaw slavery in the West. The U.S. was.
Oh my God.
It's pretty misleading.
Oh my God.
You can't make this stuff up.
Oh my God! This is not even 3 minutes in, bruh. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! And people listen to this crap?
Where are our reparations? Go, that's right out of Adolf Hitler's playbook. Now, what are the similarities between the Democrat Party of today and the Nazi Party in Germany? Well, the Nazis were against big business. They hated big business. And, of course, we all know that they were opposed to Jewish capitalism. They were insanely, irrationally against pollution. They were for 2 years mandatory voluntary service to Germany. They had a whole bunch of make-work projects to keep people working, one of which was the Autobahn. They were against cruelty and vivisection of animals, but in the radical sense of devaluing human life. They banned smoking. They were totally against that. They were for abortion and euthanasia of the undesirables, as we all know. And they were for cradle-to-grave nationalized health care. Well, it's a good point. You know how to stop abortion? Require that each one occur with a gun.
You put your kids on a school bus, you expect safety, but in Obama's America.
Did he say what I think he just said?
Yep.
Crazy.
It's insane, man.
This is. I don't know if I can sit through this, man. I don't know if I can sit through this. Oh.
America, the white kids now get beat up with the black kids cheering, yeah, right on, right on, right on.
There is an attack on masculinity that's been going on in our culture since the advent of the modern era of feminism, the late 60s, early 70s. I mean, the way I've been conditioned by the Democrats and the left in this country, that sounds like a hate crime. That Trayvon Martin starts pummeling Zimmerman because the gal on the phone, Rachel Jeantel, said, hey, a guy could be a rapist, you better run. But Trayvon's no coward. He didn't run away from stuff, so he starts pummeling on Zimmerman. Folks, there's actually a debate going on ESPN and throughout the sports world over who can use the N-word, when and how, and who can't, when and how. But we can't go after poor old Barack that way, because he's a minority. Romney knows how to do this. He did it to Newt, and he did it to Santorum. He knows full well how he has to do this. But I know what they think they're up against. They got the first black president, independence. It's easy to go after Newt or Romney because they're conservatives and everybody hates conservatives anyway. But we can't go after poor old Barack that way because he's a minority. First president in history, to my knowledge anyway, who actually wants his nation to fail. Obama wants to create an illegal alien Bill of Rights. We're not governed by people who do not like the country. Who is Obama? Why is he doing this? Why? He wouldn't have been voted president if he weren't black.
Let me put it to you this way. The NFL, all too often, looks like a game between the Bloods and the Crips without any weapons. Day mocking the standard.
You hear that? Bloods and the Crips?
Yep.
Okay.
This guy.
Just want to make sure if everyone heard that. I'm trying to get through it. I'm just trying to get through it. I can laugh through everything and stop on every single thing, but I'm like, I just can't.
Who dat say they mocking the standard? Al Sharpton say they mocking the standard. How many?
I feel like he's speaking in the 1980s, not 2010. Something crazy. He's just like, I don't know. He's pretty much your stereotype of the like crazy like conservative that just buys into the like Facebook conspiracy. That's what he strikes me as, is like the person that uses Facebook for news. I don't know if he did, but you know, he just seems to operate mostly on creating conspiracies out of nothing, from what I can tell in this. I mean, I didn't watch it before, but this little bit, he already seems pretty ridiculous.
He has a platform in which he is speaking to millions of people, and people were allowing this to be heard. People were listening to this kind of crap. People were listening to this man. He was good friends with Trump. Trump gave him the Medal of Honor or whatever it was, right? The Medal of Honor? What the? No wonder people might think Trump is racist. One of his good friends, somebody he admires and appreciates, is this dude. Wow. Let's just, okay. We grown-ass people. We can get through this.
People really think of Obama as black. He's not from the hood.
Oh, wow. He's going there.
When I hear
I'm sorry. I just spoke over something, and we need to hear that one more time. The hell did he just say?
Daymock in the Standard. How many people really think of Obama as black? He's not from the hood. He's not from the movement. When I hear Chinese or Japanese, it sounds like all the same word.
He's admitting he's stupid.
Yeah, he is really just admitting that he's just a jackass.
It is these wackos, from Bill Ayers to Jeremiah Wright to other anti-American, Afrocentric, black liberation theologists, working with Acorn, and Barack Obama is smack dab in the middle of it. They have been training young black kids to hate this country. And they trained their parents before that to hate this country.
Shut up.
What's Acorn?
Acorn, you said?
Yeah, that's what he said. I just didn't know what it meant.
Oh, I didn't hear Acorn. Hold on.
Something like that.
Middle of it, they have been training young black kids to hate this country. And they trained their parents before that to hate this country.
Here's my
I didn't hear
you
that.
agree with it or not. That if you have money, you're going to get health care. If you don't have money, it's more difficult.
If you have money, you're going to get a house on the beach. If you don't have money, you're going to live in a bungalow somewhere.
Right.
That's
right. But we talk about health care.
What's the difference?
The difference is we're talking about health care,
no,
not a house in a bungalow.
You're assuming that there's some morally superior aspect to health care.
The difference is we're talking about health care,
no,
not a house in a bungalow.
You're assuming that there's some morally superior aspect to health care. I'm telling you earlier, I'm not a conformist. I hated school because it's what everybody else had to do.
Hey, Rush.
Mr. President, sir.
All is well. Do you see our man Ailes at all?
Oh yeah,
We're on the radio, are we?
For years, the radio talk show host had taken a tough stand on drug cases, advocating prison time for the crimes. But that's not what happened when he faced his own drug charge.
I am addicted to prescription pain medication.
Exactly.
I had never experienced the kind of euphoria that I got from a pain pill. So the pain pills came along and they masked all these feelings of inadequacy that I had.
Rush is by far.
Actually, no. You want to know what it was? What it was that he was covering up all the stuff because he felt bad for all this trash that he was talking about on the radio. Real talk. He was probably eating away on the inside, but he was making too much money, so he kept riding this money train, but at the same time, he feels guilty for being such a piece of trash. Saying all this crazy stuff, I'm sure he got all kinds of letters, all kinds of hate mail, all kinds of threats for being who he is. And that is a piece of trash. Let's finish this. We got like a minute left. I swear to God.
The most articulate, defining voice of conservatism in America today. The most articulate voice of Reagan conservatism in the country. Rush is a powerful voice. I would argue that Rush is the leader of the conservative movement in the country. I know him. I'm friends with him. He's a gracious, gracious man. Rush is the leader in radio.
Everybody's making immigration proposals these days. Let me add mine to the mix. Call it the Limbaugh laws. First,
You immigrate to our country, you have to speak the native language. You have to be a professional or an investor. No unskilled workers allowed. Also, there'll be no special bilingual programs in the schools with the Limbaugh laws, no special ballots for elections, no government business will be conducted in your language. Foreigners will not have the right to vote or hold political office. If you're in our country, you cannot be a burden to taxpayers. You are not entitled to welfare or food stamps or other government goodies. You can come if you invest here, an amount equal to 40,000 times a daily minimum wage. If not, stay home. But if you want to buy land, it'll be restricted. No waterfront, for instance, and as a foreigner, you have to relinquish individual rights to the property. And another thing, you don't have the right to protest. You're allowed no demonstrations, no foreign flag waving, no political organizing, no bad-mouthing our president or his policies. You're a foreigner. Shut your mouth or get out. And if you come here illegally, you're going to jail.
Folks.
I don't even know how he's right-wing. It just sounds like he hates the Constitution as well. He doesn't want freedoms for anyone else but him.
So that was Rush Limbaugh, dead at 70 years old. So some people out there might be wondering, well, he was somebody who did what he did. I mean, I don't know. I can't after just watching that, I can't even defend him because I'd like to try to be a good human being. I'm a godly fearing human being. Let's just say that. I don't mean it to be like I'm a godly fearing person, tithe, please tithe. No, I'm not saying that. But man, Bob, you're right. I need a drink, bruh. Damn. After listening to that kind of tripe. Wow. But you could see why. I could see now why. After going through that compilation video, now I can understand why a lot of other people are going ding dong, the witch is dead. And if they could, they'd probably dance on his grave. Wow, he's a piece of trash. Fellas, what are your thoughts, man? Woo!
Yeah, I mean, I just agree. I've never listened to him before. I heard his name, and that was pretty much it. He's pretty ridiculous. He just seems like he is just, I guess, racist. Like, that seems to be his main goal, maybe, because, I mean, he keeps saying that foreigners and other people shouldn't do this or that, and, he's ignoring what the Constitution says they can do. So he's saying that what the Constitution says doesn't apply either. So it doesn't really seem like he cares about the country or he cares about the people that are coming in, because he's not really, respecting either of them.
Wow.
He's just, I don't know, he just seems like a racist that had a talk show basically.
That's a very
just used it for anything.
That's a very unhappy human being, or that was a very unhappy human being. And what's crazy to me is that there are people out here that listen to that crap. There are people out here that were listening to that every single day. Some people were fans of his when he first started, all the way till he died. That's a lot of people that are listening to that type of rhetoric every single day. Every single day. One thing I feel like is that we have changed a little bit, and that, the times have changed. He still had an alley. He still had a road. He still had an angle that people listened to. He still was on the airwaves. People were listening to him every single day. But I do feel like things have changed a little bit. But if you do listen to conservative radio, there's a lot of people that do try to emulate Rush Limbaugh. A lot. But for someone to spit out that kind of bile, something was rotting inside of him for sure. And there you have it, lung cancer. You can't have all that inside of you for your body not to react in a negative way. That's what I think on it. There's just no way. You can't speak like that and not have something physically going on inside of you. I do believe in energy. And I feel like that's somebody who was just rotting on the inside for a long time. But damn. What are your thoughts, T? Real quick before we jump on to the next story.
Yeah, it was just straight poison he was spewing.
I don't.
Just poison. That was it. I mean, everything he said was cancerous, and he definitely died of cancer due to his own, beliefs. Unfortunately, the worst part about this is the followers, those who digested his rhetoric for decades, and those are the ones who passed that rhetoric down to their children. And that's why we still have people in this country hating each other for nothing, unfortunately. So
it's freaking trash.
Yeah.
I mean, like literally, I don't know if you guys just saw me, but I literally had to hug myself. I had to jump back and hug myself for a second. Like, it's okay. He ain't here no more. You know what I mean? Everything he said isn't true. You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't do it. I just can't do it. I just can't. Woo! But thank you guys for going through that with me. But there you go. There you have it. That is Rush Limbaugh in all of his glory. I mean, and that's just a tip. That's just the tip, babe. That's just the tip. It's just the tip of the iceberg, y'all. Okay? There's much more to that. There's a lot more where that came from. Trust and believe. Wood, thank you so much for the $20 tip. Thank you so much. He said, I love the Pascal show. Wood, thank you, my brother. Thank you. But yeah, there it is. Immortal Badass, absolutely. I wonder how much he had to pay the FCC fines as well. I mean, what he had to pay in FCC fines. I absolutely agree. How could you sit there and do all this and not get fined, not get slapped with all kinds of stuff? Shoot, I did a video about such and such, and I got banned for 7 days. So on the airwaves, I would think that he would get slapped hard. But then again, you never know. The people that run the powers that be, the higher ups, they're all probably think the same stuff he thinks. So they're probably just going, he said what he said. Keep it moving. He said what he said. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's a damn shame. Man.
It's gone. So.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not. Oh, no, see, I'm done. I'm done. I'm good. I'm good on that. Be sure to hit that like button, please. Get those likes up. I would really appreciate it. Get those likes up all the way up. You know what I mean? I'd really appreciate it. I do have something else I wanted to pull up here, but I gotta, because there's a little bit of an added story here, sorry. There is a video, or there's some added information that I've received recently about. Remember, I did a pop-up video, excuse me, about a racist teacher that was telling people the origins of, well, like the real meaning, his version of what the real meaning of the N-word is. If you don't remember what I'm talking about, we're gonna play it right here just to give you guys a quick reminder. Okay. Let's check this out.
The white people do what?
They would crack the slaves with the.
They wouldn't do that to slaves.
How do you know? Were you there? Me? Like, how do you know?
Let me help you out with your, okay? Before I kick you out.
How? For why?
You want to have an honest conversation? Let's have an honest conversation. Don't give me the ha ha he he ho. Let's have an honest conversation now.
Okay.
That's what I want. That's what we're here in AP for. If I call somebody the N-word, what am I calling them?
The N-word?
No.
Huh?
Ignorant? Yeah, ignorant.
This guy.
The N-word just means ignorant. It doesn't have any other meaning and any other vocabulary other than you are a stupid person. You are ignorant. You are not well read. You are not well educated. That's what it means. I laugh because I'm a Florida boy down here where we came up with the term Florida cracker. Well, everyone thinks Florida crackers like racist.
Well, as you guys know, we've already seen that video. We're gonna play it and of course we had to play it just for a quick subtle reminder of everything. But the internet is something amazing. I'm just going to say the internet is something amazing. Okay. I just recently received a message from someone that is, I can't really say much. They just have certain information because right now, no one knows who this person is, who this man is who the teacher is. They're basically hiding this man right now, which is ridiculous. Okay. And Zozo Bob, yes, I'm seeing your comment here. I totally agree. You know what I'm saying? They really need to stop on trying to tell people. White people really need to just sit down, stop saying certain things, trying to say that they understand what the N-word really means because they don't know. They don't know. They haven't had the experience of it or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Actually, it's funny because anytime I've seen a white guy get called the N-word, they start busting out laughing because they think it's hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when they're in an altercation with a black guy and the black guy says, you know, N-word, come on, man, N-word, N-word. You know what I mean? They start laughing because they're not used to hearing that kind of word. They're not used to it. So it's just like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now, I can't speak on all white guys, but from a lot of these viral videos I've seen, it seems like that is the response, the gut reaction, right? So moving on, somebody contacted me. And I have the information. I know who this person's name is. I know who the teacher is now. Because this person is someone who's affiliated with this whole situation. They contacted me. And they said, you know, saw your YouTube video regarding the teacher in Florida using the N-word in class, trying to justify it as as being ignorant instead of a racial slur. I just wanted to give you the information that the news is not reporting. The teacher's name, get ready for it. His name is Clifford Sheehan. He teaches AP History at the Island Coast High School. I have a photo of him too. As of right now, he is suspended with pay under investigation by the Lee County District. So this gentleman, I don't know if I should put the face out there right now, to be really honest, just to be really honest. But I do have his information. I do have his face. And I'm just giving you guys his name. Because right now, the news has been hiding it. They haven't been putting out his name. They have not been exposing this guy. And I really do think that this is somebody, excuse me, this is somebody that should most definitely be fired immediately. So, of course, as soon as this person sent me this information, I was like, hey, can you call in? You know, can you maybe video chat or call into the show? You know, I'm about to go live here soon. Would love to have you on. They said, no, I can't. I would politely request to remain anonymous. But they said a lot of people have been instructed to stay silent about this situation, which is ridiculous. Okay. But then they also said, I wish I could be more vocal about this situation because this person does believe that this man, Clifford, needs to be fired. From my understanding, this is something that Clifford has been doing for a while. So in my pop-up video, when I said, hopefully, you know, he hasn't been a teacher for a while and whatnot, no, he's been a teacher for a while. And he's been teaching this kind of crap. He's been teaching this crap to his students every year, filling their minds with BS and trying to give them his thoughts on what the N-word means to him. To him. Excuse me. So there you have it, y'all. The internet is amazing, is an amazing thing, and I just wanted to point that out, just so you guys know. I know that's a little bit of a left turn, but this person contacted me and saw my video, and there you have it. David, what were we going to say?
I was going to say that the teacher's wrong about the etymology as well as the fact that slaves were whipped.
Word.
Because like the word comes from Latin for black is Niger, and the first person to use that name was a black follower of Jesus who was called Simeon the Niger. So, and it goes into Spanish and Italian as negra, and it comes across through that. What this is like a false etymology I've heard before. I think it's kind of to try and make it seem less racial, honestly, because what they often do is they're referring to a French word as the etymology, which does mean ignorant, but it doesn't have the same history or following as the N-word, basically. So it's a false thing I've seen claimed, especially on the right a few times, to try and like distance the word from black people. But no, the etymology is about black people, specifically started in reference to African, who named himself that because it just meant black at the time.
Yeah. There it is. No, but there it is. You know what I mean? There it is. That's that's good information about the origin of the word. But of course, it is obviously, as you said, it has changed. It has become more than just that now. You know what? Deidre, Helena, hello. It's been a long time. What do you guys think? Should I show this guy's face or no?
I think so.
Do it.
Boom. There he is. That's his face. That's Clifford, everybody. Clifford in all his glory. All of his glory. That is the teacher.
That's about right.
Yep, that's about right. That's about right.
That Rush Jr. right there?
Say again, what?
Rush Limbaugh Jr. right there?
I couldn't hear you. What did you say?
Rush Limbaugh Jr.
Oh, Rush Limbaugh Jr. Yeah. I mean, that's the only time I'm only showing that face once. Sorry, but that's it. You know what I mean? So that is his face.
Yeah.
It's Clifford Sheehan. He is a teacher.
Anyway.
AP History at the Lee. What was it? What's the school's name again? Shoot. The Island Coast High School. Yeah. So there you go. And now he has been suspended because of being a dumbass. And, of course, teaching BS that he shouldn't be teaching. Let's be real. He shouldn't be teaching that stuff.
And that's the other thing is, like, I don't even know where this guy gets the idea that slaves weren't whipped, because the only sources we have about slaves and whipping confirm that it was done, often with a 1-inch hickory rod. And if you look at papers from the time, they were selling very specific whips made for that. They're like 18 inches long and 2 inches wide. You can find microfilms of the newspapers. There was a product that people sold. There's really no question about this. We have articles from former slaves from the 1830s, their interviews confirming this, as well as a lot of letters between owners discussing like how much a slave should be beaten. Like, that was a discussion. How much should you beat your slave? Does beating your slave cause an insurrection, or does not beating them cause insurrection? This is the kind of discussions they were having then. So there's no question about the fact that slaves were beaten. Perhaps not as in every farm, but the stories of there being plantation leaders that brutally tortured and killed their slaves is entirely correct. We have their own documents recording it. There's really no ambiguity to this. I mean, as a history teacher, I would think he would look at historical sources. And any historical source he looks at from the time confirms it, whatever side you're from or whatever political party you're associated with. It just wasn't questioned. It was known as a fact back then. It's in the papers, it's in the journals, it's in people's letters. It's all over.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely images that are available in many books of history in our country. You can't erase something that's a fact. I mean, I know that people try to redo or revise history to benefit them. And, as an educator myself, I know there's educators who close their doors and do their own thing, and add their own rhetoric into their curriculum. And that's crazy, because you can't, brainwash students to think that what you think is the truth. It should always be a primary or secondary source, especially in history, to back up what you're talking about, and I'm happy that in the AP course, which is advanced, that he was challenged, because you should always be able to challenge any instructor who's giving you anything that you think is questionable, right or wrong. So, you know, this is a great way to expose this guy by that kid recording him in class. And eventually he's going to be seen throughout all the news outlets soon, and hopefully his license to teach is revoked.
I hope so. I'm really hoping so that happens because, like I said, he shouldn't be teaching that. He shouldn't be teaching that. He shouldn't be even teaching that way. But the fact that is even actually happening makes you wonder how many other schools are actually allowing this type of teaching to actually happen. You know, they're coming out and putting out the wrong type of stuff. And that's what needs to stop. And when those kind of things, like I give that kid a lot of props for coming out saying that or putting that video out and exposing that dude's ass, because that shouldn't be happening. That shouldn't be happening at all. That's not how you educate young minds at all.
But you know, honestly, it's happening a whole lot. You know, I'm definitely a part of a diversity and inclusion training where I train other teachers to, you know, teach cultural things that are more, you would say, welcoming and they teach things outside of their own ideologies. And you'd be surprised who's teaching for 20, 30 years out of their own made-up, you know, curriculum. And unfortunately, it's damaging to people because they grew up hating different groups of people based off what they were told in school. Or if someone brings up the truth in the classroom, the teacher gives that child a punitive, you know, consequence. And that child has no voice in that classroom. And they grew up hating school and hating teachers and hating, you know, the system. So it's really unfortunate. You have to be careful who's teaching your kids because their own biases should never be in their teaching. As an educator, you can't pick a side as far as left or right. You're supposed to be nonpartisan and objective in your teachings. But you never know when doors are closed and no one's around, you know, and there's no principal coming into the classroom, you know, on a regular basis. That teacher runs that classroom like a dictator, pretty much. So we have to be really careful about all these things because it's definitely shaped society currently. And even 2021, we see it still happening. And if it wasn't for cameras on kids' cell phones, you know, we would have no evidence to actually bring this up and to reprimand this teacher.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the story, guys, or that's the news on that one. And like I said, the internet is a very interesting thing. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you even have a workshop, if you will, you know, is frustrating to me. You know what I'm saying? The fact that there is how do I relate to, or how can I teach these young African-American minds or these young minority minds when I am a white person or a white teacher? It's so crazy to me that there's curriculum like that. You know what I'm saying? I get it that's just how it is, but it's just very frustrating to me. It's just frustrating, you know, that there has to be a different approach or something like the fact that there's Dangerous Minds, like a movie like Dangerous Minds that even exists. It still blows my mind. You know what I mean? Like, oh, the white teacher coming in and, you know, Gangsta's Paradise is playing in the background and, you know, the toughest school in the world. How is this white teacher going to be able to communicate and educate these young minority minds? And the fact that it's like they have to think outside the box to be able to talk to students of color is mind-blowing to me. It's just absolutely mind-blowing. It's like, just teach them. Open the book and go to, you know what I mean? Turn to page 32. Read the first paragraph. Learning. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It just, I don't know. To me, it just blows my mind. It blows my mind. You know what I'm saying? Blows my mind. Sorry. That's all I gotta say. This blows my mind. It is, I know it's not as simple as what I'm saying. I get it. It's not that simple. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, bruh, wow, really? Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, you gotta think about the numbers here, though. Look at all the schools that are, you can say, performing below standards. The schools that are in impoverished neighborhoods. You got to think about who are the educators that are being hired in those schools. Majority of the educators are white females. They are. It probably make up 60, 75% of teaching between grades probably 5 through, grades kindergarten to 8th. High school is probably a bit more diverse as far as more men and more diverse backgrounds. But, I believe black educators represent, I think, 3% nationwide, and I think black men represent 2% nationwide.
Wow.
So it's very low. It's very, very low. So we think about, if you have white females teaching black young boys, black young girls, Hispanic young boys, and so forth, it's hard to relate. So you have to have people who look like you in your communities to help you understand how to get to where they are.
Yeah.
So, we definitely need more diversity in teaching itself.
Facts. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
It just
The
sucks.
way Hollywood does it. Sorry.
No, go ahead, David.
I was going to say the way Hollywood shows it, they just need a white woman to come to their school to fix everything. There's like 10 movies about that.
No kidding.
Fact,
like
David.
I said, the Hillary Swank movie, you know what I'm saying? Like there's, it's all like a white woman walking into the inner city school. What is she gonna do? Then all of a sudden, like 2 weeks later, she shows up in a leather jacket and sits in a chair backwards. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just tired. I'm just tired of it. And it's kind of like, just talk to them like they're children, like they're students.
Yeah, every decade we had freedom writers, Hillary Swank.
Yes, freedom writers.
We had Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yep.
And it's always the same thing every decade. The same movie. And I'm just done with it. I'm just done with it. You know what I mean? I think the realest version of that kind of breakdown was what's his name? Samuel Jackson?
No, well that's another one. There's that one. What's that one? Was that Stand By Me? No, Lean on Me. Lean on Me.
Lean on Me.
There was Lean on Me.
Yeah.
There was Lean on Me, and then there was another one. There was another one called Stand and Deliver. There was another one, like a throwback. You know what I mean?
Is that Denzel in that one? I think. Is that Denzel?
No, that is the Great Debaters.
Okay.
The Great Debaters. Phil Nyes just said, "Finding Forrester" on Facebook. Yeah, you're the man now, dog. With
I like that one though.
Sean Connery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's good. But you're the man now, dog. As he's typing. That movie's ridiculous. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? It's just it's one of those things. It's one of those things that they do every 10 years. Another story about breaking racial lines, educating and while he is teaching, the student is teaching the teacher of how to be a better human being. You know what I mean? Rated R. Because there's like one F word in the entire movie. No boobies, no sex scenes, no nothing. Just one F word. And it's an R-rated movie. But anyway, I digress. This is my youth we're talking about here. It's like, dang, no boobies? No boobies in his R?
That's how you go see an R movie as a kid. Like, they just let you in back then as a kid to watch R-rated movies. So they just give movies R ratings to get people to go watch it. And now it's the opposite.
Yeah. Ooh, Shay just said, but how do y'all feel about Sister Act 2? Okay.
I don't remember the second one.
That's a classic, though.
That's a classic, though.
That's a classic. All the singing and all that. Yeah, that's good.
Oh, happy day. Come on. That was great.
Yeah,
I love the first one.
The first one was great, too. The first one was great. The second one's great. But yeah, it's campy. It's cheesy. Yeah, and I get it. They're going into the inner city and the inner city school, and they're trying to teach this choir, and they happen to all be super talented singers and all that. How convenient. Every last one of them can actually blow and dance and all that stuff, which is absolute Hollywood horse-ish, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got the other one. It's like the reverse version. School of Rock.
I haven't seen that one.
It's the opposite. Like it's a upper crust. Huh? It's Jack Black.
Jack Black in that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, that was funny.
It's a black guy, Jack Black. So a black guy teaching a bunch of rich upper crust kids how to play music and be in a rock band. You know what I'm saying? So it's the opposite. You know what I'm saying? Because he's like some loser stoner dude, you know. And then he goes into this upper crust school and he's like, how am I going to be able to teach these kids? And then he teaches the kids, you know what I mean? With his Scloopy-Doo and his, you know, what he does. Ring-a-ding-ding, you know what I mean? His whole Jack Black thing, you know what I mean? And everybody eats it up and then they rock people's faces off at the end of the movie. And of course, they're all super talented. It drives me nuts. I digress. It's the same thing with Sister Act. It's like miraculously, you got these unbelievable singers all in the same group together, and then they, you know what I mean? And then they kick ass. It's like, come on, y'all. That's too Hollywood, you know? Bring some people that don't have any talent, you know? You know? You're just here to do this in the background. You know what I mean? That's it. That's all you need to do.
They have a group song at the end.
Yes, they do.
There's almost always a group song where everyone comes together.
Oh, yeah.
And has learned their lessons.
Oh, absolutely. And at the I'm never smoking dope again. You know what I mean?
I know.
And then they're singing yeah. You know what I mean? Living life and everything. You know what I'm saying?
It reminds me of that one kid in Stand By Me that was like hooked on crack or whatever. That's how they always try to play it off.
Yes. Lean on Me. Lean on Me, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because Stand By Me was the other one where they found they go on a trip to find a dead body.
Yeah.
That's another movie in itself. We one day we're gonna have to do a movie talk. But anyway, this is this is the thing, you know. Yeah, Shay, you're right. iCarly was in School of Rock. Yeah, she was the annoying kid. You know what I mean? Good movies. They're all good movies for what it's worth. But like I was saying, it's just like this crappy thing of like these teachers are out here wanting to go, how am I supposed to teach these kids? And then it's like, wait a second, just teach them. Just show up and start talking. Trust me, they'll eventually listen. You know what I mean? And that's it. Period. But definitely hit those like buttons, guys, if you don't mind. Go get those buttons all the way, those likes all the way up if you don't mind. I see you guys are here watching, tuning in and everything. Please, you know, get those likes up. That would really, really mean a lot to me. Please, please, please. We are going to be opening up the phone lines here very shortly because we got to jump into this next thing. Okay, real quick. Yay, Perseverance obviously lands on Mars. Big, huge moment. Yeah, we humans took a robot and landed on a completely different planet. It's amazing. Yay. Everybody clap. Yay. 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 Well done, sir.
I actually went out of my way to watch it live, so.
Oh, that's cool. I was trying to watch it live, and then I had things to do. Because don't get me wrong. It's very, very fascinating and very, very cool. But at the same time, you know, a lot of it was like, well, how are you going to get this thing to land on Mars? And then they're like, well, we're doing today. And it just felt very 3, 2, 1 contact. Wow, that is a throwback. Do you guys know this?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1 contact? The science show?
Yeah.
T, come on.
Is that Bill Nye?
No, not Bill Nye. Come on, man. I ain't talking about no Bill Nye. I'm talking about 3, 2, 1 contact.
Save me, David.
I don't remember the dude's name.
Talking about 3, 2, 1 contact.
It was on PBS.
Contact is the reason. It's the moment. Something like that. Contact. 3, 2, 1. Come on, man. Okay, never mind. It's all
Contact
good.
Smoke.
I just barely remember watching it when I was a kid. That's about it.
I'm ashamed of you, T.
My bad. I was watching, my favorite cartoons were like G.I. Joe and,
I was watching G.I. Joe too, baby. I was watching that. I watched a lot of Channel 9, basically. Come on. 3-2-1 contact was like the bomb. Okay, never mind. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Bill Nye was cool. You know what I mean? He'd be cool. But like I said, it was just very sciencey, you know, like, well, this is what we're going to do to, you know what I mean? This is how we did it, guys. And for me, I just kind of got bored. And I had to do a bunch of other things. But very, very cool that they landed this thing on Mars and all that. And I'm sorry, not trying to be rude or anything. It's just, I just wanted to see them land the thing. You know what I mean? I don't need to know all the parts and how they did it with the Wi-Fi's and the, you know, whatevers. You know, the didgeridoo's and the kerfuffles. I just wanted to see the thing get parked on the planet. And unfortunately, I missed that part. But that's dope. That's dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're still getting images from Mars from it right now. It takes, I think, 7 minutes or so for a signal to get from the moon to here. So they're still feeding pictures throughout the day. They should be getting more through the night.
Yeah.
All of NASA's accounts on Twitter pretty much post all the live feed as they go through it. So if people are interested in that, that's a good way to follow it.
Check it out. And if you see some weird random blob like slowly get to and consume the actual Perseverance, then yeah, there's life on Mars.
I'm out. I'm running away somewhere.
Shoot, it's done. I'll be like, because they're gonna be like, where does this come from? You know what I mean? Like it's the monster from Men in Black. You know what I'm saying? Where does this come from? You know what I mean? Opening it up, and next thing you know, yeah, they find out it says USA on it, and then they go USA, and then look up and they see the Earth. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time.
We
for
might
that.
get lucky. It is looking for aliens. That's why it's there. It's because of all the water evidence of liquid water we found under the crust over the past year or two. It's there to actually take bore samples of the lower water, which has the potential of having life in it. Because before like last year or the year before, we didn't know it had liquid water. We thought it might have some water trapped in ice with methane and other gases. But this is the last. I think it was. I forget what the last one was called. Rover, I think, is the one that confirmed that there's water, and they found husks that might have been. It was a shape that might have been the husk of a bacteria, but they're not sure. So this is interesting because it's the first time we're taking a sample of liquid water on another planet, and we have on our own planet things that do live like underneath the water near the like volcanic vents from the core of the Earth. So it's quite possible there's actually something alive on there. Probably nothing complicated, but there's a good chance they find life. You never know. There could be like ancient ruins there or something.
That's what's up. I mean, you know what I'd like to know is if there, like, I want to know if there was actual like life there before, you know, like period. Yeah, they say that, you know, the water and everything. That's dope. That they're showing some proof, but I've always had these weird, crazy theories, and you know, I've said it a couple times, and then people look at me like I got my head on backwards or something like that. But I do have my theories. I just got my theories.
I mean, it is quite possible there was some sort of civilization before, simply because after 10,000 years, even still starts to kind of fall apart. And so say like if every human just vanished today, in about 10,000 years, like New York would just look like a pile of dirt and trees. It wouldn't look like a city was ever there.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's quite possible. I mean, that's why Venus is considered one of the most likely candidates to actually see if there's previous life in the galaxy, because its atmosphere is so thick that the buildings would still be there. They'd probably be bleached white from all the ammonia in the atmosphere. But it's quite possible that there are, some sort of buildings down there. That was one of the things that drew attention not too long ago, is when we saw basically gases that bacteria breathe in the upper atmosphere of Venus. The idea was that maybe they lived at the super hot bottom, floated to the top to do photosynthesis, and then floated back down. So there are a lot of ideas of how bacteria can live in extreme conditions like this, because they do live like that once you go past the crust of the Earth. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, you know, and that's what I mean by like, what are the? I'm going to be opening up the phone lines. I just saw somebody tried calling just a second ago. I will be pulling up the phone line here very, very shortly. But real quick, I just want to say this, and we're going to move on. But like I said, it'd be very interesting to see what was there previously, if there ever was anything there. But I mean, the only way we're going to be able to do that is if we actually have people, boots on the ground out there, actually digging and looking for things. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see what happens after this successful touchdown. It's history in the making, and that's such a huge deal. It's so exciting, you know, real talk. It's exciting about the touchdown. I had no interest in the, you know, the didgeridoos and the kerfuffles and the such and such. Man, yeah, you start saying all this technical stuff is going to go right over my head. I just want to know, does it run and will it land? Did it land? Great. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we got to jump into this thing. The phone lines are open right now. We have the question right now is about Ted Cruz and his Cancun trip. Does he get a pass or no? Do you think he's lying or no? Give me a call, 314-766-4581. Love to hear your thoughts. We all would love to hear your thoughts on this situation. Obviously, I just did 2 videos back-to-back pretty much. One was from the live show talking about how he flew out to go to Cancun. And everyone's like, is that Ted Cruz? Is he literally going to Cancun during the time that Texas is in shambles and it is in dire straits where millions of people are out of power, people are dying, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Then it was proof that he was literally was out there to Cancun. Then that same day he flies back and says, oh, no. I was over there because I was escorting my daughter out there. You know what I'm saying? Which doesn't make any sense because his wife was there. His wife could have been just fine escorting the daughter out there, doing the damn thing. And also he had more than just an overnight bag that he was carrying around. So he had plans on staying out there. He just got caught red-handed. But a lot of people out there would, would like to defend him in his honor. What are your thoughts? Do you think he's full of ish or do you think he's telling the truth? Does he get a pass or no? Give me a call, 314-766-4581. Let's get into it. While we wait, because I just saw, there it is. There you go. I thought he was going to call back. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name and where you calling from?
What's up, man? Hey, it's Rob. I'm calling from Southern California again. I called you last week, I think.
Yes, sir. How you doing, man?
That. Yeah, you're talking about that lady that canceled from Disney.
Yes.
All right. All right. Check this out. So,
yeah.
One thing real quick. You guys were talking about life on other planets and stuff right now.
Sure.
I want to say this is my belief, and this is my belief from just observing everything we've discovered within the universe so far. Everything repeats. There are galaxy clusters. And within those galaxy clusters are galaxies. Within all those galaxies, there are fucking stars. Within all those star clusters, there are planets. It boils down and it goes down and it goes down over and over, right?
Right.
It's like a repeating process. And then we're just here, and we're wondering. We're wondering about other stuff. But trust me, man. The process repeats itself throughout the universe. Galaxy clusters. Galaxies within the galaxies, there's star clusters and stars, all that. It's the same, man. It's the same.
Word.
But anyways,
what are your thoughts on Ted Cruz?
So yeah, exactly. No, well, I want to call about what you're talking about with the N-word and what it means.
Okay.
So exactly when I called you last week, I told you about Tim Pool having a podcast.
Yes.
About them arguing, saying why can't they say that word?
Right.
And the reason I bring this up again is because YouTube is a very large platform now. Your stuff's growing, dude. Tim Pool, that dude has millions of watchers and viewers, right?
Yeah, he's beyond.
Yes. They were sitting around. Dude, you have to look this up. They were sitting around arguing, mad at each other, saying, "Why can't we say it?" And they were all white people.
Right.
And one dude finally screamed it out, right? He finally screamed out. He said, I'm saying it was weird. And I'm like, what the F? It was really weird. And one dude had the I'm half black and half Spanish, bro.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is from my family. My mom's side is from like deep down the southwest Mexico way. You know, my dad's from the black side. They try to say that the N word, the hard ER, is a Spanish word, and that's why you guys are talking about the etymology of the word. They were trying to play that bullshit off when I called you last week.
Yeah,
and that's wrong, bro. They tried to say that shit was Spanish. Look, Spanish for black is negro, negro.
Yeah,
with the hard N it. That's it. It's not nigger. That's some bull stuff, bro.
Right.
That's some bull stuff, dude. I'm trying to I'm trying to be calm about it. And he has a massive audience, and he's like cultivating his audience to believe that stuff, bro.
But remember, that's his platform. So he has this platform in which he can basically say close to anything he wants because he has people that are emboldening him to be able to say those things. If you've noticed, I mean, I watch a lot of Tim Pool, so I know his stuff, a lot of his stuff. Actually, I do watch a lot of his stuff, but then I stop after a certain moment because I get tired of hearing his same repetitive, divisive rhetoric that he uses almost every single video. It's kind of like, just be you, man. Just talk. Just talk about the news. Quit throwing it at like, oh, well, there it goes. The crazy leftists are doing that. You know what I mean? It's just like, just tell us the news, man. You're very well spoken. Just speak. But when I saw that video, because I saw that video too, and I shared it. I put it on my Twitter. By the way, follow me on Twitter, The Pascal Show, one word. Thank you. Anyway, when I saw that video, I was like, oh my God, bruh. Like, just let it go. Let it go. Stop arguing about it because it's a stupid. You are not going to win this debate, period. Doesn't matter the origin of the word. It doesn't matter. What it stands for now is something that is diminutive.
Exactly.
It punches down. It is racist. It is something that has been used for hundreds and hundreds of years. Get over it. Straight up. Get over it. Quit using it as an excuse. Quit trying to find anything under the sun to be like why? Why is this word so important to all these, no offense to any white person that watches this show, but why is it so important that white people want to gain the accessibility of using this word again? Why?
They want to say it for some reason. Like they want it back. It's like they want it back.
Yes.
That's what it is.
And it makes no sense to me. To me, it's a waste of time. You know what I'm saying?
2 words.
No, I
Twisted
feel
Tea.
you, dude. Bro, I feel
Facts.
you want.
Sorry, T was just saying twisted tea. Twisted tea from T.
T, go ahead.
What did you say, T?
I was just saying 2 words, Twisted Tea, because that video that Pascal put up a little while ago, we saw the results of somebody using that word inappropriately to the wrong person.
Man, slapped him into 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? But what were you going to say?
The discussions.
David, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say the discussion's weird when it comes up a lot of times. It's like just because it's viewed as exclusive, people want to find a reason they should say it. But it's basically the same as in general. You can say whatever you want, and if you say something stupid, it's going to have consequences with the people around you. That's just the way it works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's my point. That's my point with all of this.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Go ahead.
So, hold on. So that's my point with that girl, Gina Carano, whatever, last week.
Right.
That's my point with her. She can say the dumb shit, but dude, you have a boss, right? You have a boss. Like, I can't say whatever I want. You can't say the N-word like right, left and right. You can fight for it, which is weird. Like, dude, check this out. So I'm a sports fan. I listen to a lot of like overnight sports because I work overnight. And there was actually dudes at one point, right when Trump got elected, we're calling into obviously Fox Sports Radio because they're way more like acceptable of this behavior. And on the overnight shows, they were this is overnight radio asking, why can't we say the N-word? I don't know if you remember when Richard Sherman.
Yes,
and
I saw this, and he was sitting there going, "Go ahead, say it." Go on. I give you full, say it right now, live on the show. Go on and say it. Go ahead and do it. And the guy was like, what?
Yeah, bro.
What? He's like, nope, that's why you
weird,
can't.
man.
Yeah.
Look.
It's ridiculous,
Look, man. It's just, honestly, bro, it's all weird to me. Like, I don't even say it as a black dude. Like, well, I'm half black, right? My dad, like I told you, my dad's black.
Right.
I don't even do that. I know the reason I don't is because I don't want anyone around me to get the idea that it's cool to just start fucking chucking that word out.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why I don't. That's why I consciously don't. Because it's not fucking cool, right?
Facts.
In my opinion. That's why I don't. I don't care if I'm a 6 black dudes, 6 Mexican dudes, 6 white dudes. I don't.
Yeah.
Only because I don't want anyone. My kids, I got kids. I don't want them going around fucking even propagating any of this bullshit that's going on, bro. Like honestly, I feel like we need to start with a certain baseline of like respect and like understanding. And I'm glad you were talking about like the stuff with like the root of the word and the N word. Right now, Texas and Arizona, they are trying to rewrite the civil rights era and the slavery era. They're trying to do all kinds of weird shit, man. So you're gonna see more shit going on with like like you were talking about. Oh, the slave masters didn't beat their slaves. No, you're gonna see more of that stuff, man.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna see more of that stuff.
That's why I think that it was really, really perfect timing that a video like that actually exists. You know, like a video like that came out and it is out there now. So we're bringing, so someone like this kid that did that was brave enough to record that and put it out there, is now bringing awareness to the possibility of other teachers doing that. And that's when we need to look into our schools and go, are our teachers teaching this exact same way or not? And I think that that's why this video exists, so that we can make sure that it stops. Hopefully it stops. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm hoping for. But we'll see.
All right.
But my brother, thank you so much for the phone call. Right. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah. No. Well, okay, real quick.
Okay.
I just want to say Mr. T's awesome. You're awesome.
Thank you, brother.
And David, say something, man. David,
He's been saying it.
Say something, David. I'm out.
Hey, man, how's it going? Thanks for calling.
Thanks a lot, man.
Oh, man. Okay, the phone lines are still open. 314. I'll take like one more phone call before we have to nip this show in the bud. But give me a call. 314-766-4581. The question is, Ted Cruz, what are your thoughts on it? What are your thoughts? Give me a call. 314-766-4581. Here we go. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Siri from Germany.
Siri, how you doing, sweetheart?
Hey,
Germany's in the
I'm
house.
fine, thank you.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome. What's on your
well,
mind?
first of all, I want
Speak
to apologize because I realized last time I talked over you quite a lot. I'm having a very hard time hearing you over the phone.
No, it's okay.
So I will... well, the Ted Cruz thing, I mean, it's ridiculous. Do we really have to discuss that this man is horrible? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
It just seems, it's nothing new. He's just a terrible human being and has no business being in any leadership position. I mean, I wouldn't even let him run a bake sale, but that's just me. If I may, I was listening to you this morning and this evening, and two things came up.
Okay.
That sort of merged in my brain. And one was the thing you were talking about, the college, the free college, and that children should be made aware, or young people, that there's other options that may be a better investment for them, which is, trade schools and actually learning a skill, which, yes, I support. I think, learning a decent trade and doing honest work is a very important thing, and people should not be ashamed of that.
Yeah.
However, As you were talking earlier about teaching, and that is important for students to have representation in teaching and not just be taught at, but to be, involved deeply in learning from people who actually understand different backgrounds than just white ladies. We have this same thing in primary schools here. It's all women. I mean, I don't mind women in teaching, but it's a bit weird. There has to be more diversity. Well, if you put that together, you mentioned like, a lot of people, they take a degree in like art history and they're never going to use it. Well, yes, in a way, obviously people have to consider what is good for me and what do I need in life. You need food, you need shelter. But I think it's very dangerous if we portray areas like the arts or, philosophy and writing and creative things as a luxury. I think it's very important that we have access to these fields by people who are not advantaged and have like a trust fund at home that they can basically play with their lives and can say, I'm just going to do art. Because there's a very interesting project that is a group of black art history professors who they collect images of multicultural diversity in medieval art, because their approach is modern sort of considerations of race and belonging are actually quite new concepts. In older times, that didn't exist in this form. It's a modern way of sort of classifying belonging to a cultural group is by just heritage or visual pointers such as how dark are you, and they actually uncover a lot of images and and show them, but they also uncover a lot of images that have been retouched in history. So you have medieval art that depicts a multicultural society that later people have gone in and painted over. They've literally whitewashed the art. And that is such an important project because the way our view of us is shaped is also shaped by our history. So if one group controls our view on our history and our arts, then they get to decide what relationship we have to our past. And you need different views to find different aspects of our past. So if we reserve art for, do we really need another book about a man having a crisis of conscience because his penis wants something? Is this of value? That's what we'll end up with.
You know what?
So I would say sorry.
You know what, Siri? I fucking love you. You're just amazing.
Thank you.
You're amazing. Oh my God. Oh God. You need to call into the show more often. Because your perspective is just really incredible. But continue. Finish what you were saying. I just wanted to, give you some positive vibes here because I'm with it 100% with what you're saying. So please continue what you were saying. I'm so sorry.
Well, to take that to a very, as you know, Mr. Limbaugh just kicked the bucket, and I don't want to make fun of anybody dying.
Right.
It's never a nice thing to do. However,
that's my dilemma.
I guess we all have our views on the man's life work and how much good he did to us all. Wonderful man. Excuse my irony. To take it to sort of a more pop culture thing, a few years ago we had this constant alarmist right-wing hysteria about the war on Christmas. And one of the aspects of war on Christmas was, I forget who it was, some person in the news got incredibly outraged over the fact that people were trying to make Santa black. And it was this huge problem. They're trying to destroy our culture. They're turning Santa black. Now, that's where art history comes into it again. Santa goes back to various different cultural roots in different cultural areas. You know, the German roots of Santa are different than the Russian roots. But one of the contributing factors to the myth of Santa Claus is, of course, the bishop. Was he a bishop? I think he was a bishop. Who has a completely separate St. Nicholas. He has a completely separate story and actually day of celebration in Europe than Christmas is, but it has still merged this imagery, the red coat, you know, all these things. Well, interestingly, this man actually existed. His remains are known where they are. They've been, you know, exhumed, and he was a black man. And in very early depictions in Russian Orthodox art, you can see he is still a black man. He is distinctly, because he was from a region that is nowadays Turkey, but he was from a Moorish minority, which was obviously situated there in that time. So we have a real black man who is the root of a figure that is so powerful because he judges children. Now, to me, I was thinking, well, if we have this white man judging the children, that is a very powerful image because everybody is subjugated to the old white man's stare and judgment. Have you been naughty? Have you been nice? Mm-hmm. Well, of course, people are going to have panic attacks if this power is culturally changed. But why should a child that is of color, why should it be judged by an old white man? Why should it be subject to... That is a form of cultural violence, in my view, personally. A lot of people might not care, but if you think about it, you take a real person who is not white and you turn him white over time to judge over everybody. For children, that is a very strong image. So, and the fact that people are reinterpreting this figure to fit their own background, where they are actually returning to the original, and white people then have a shit fit on TV. Well, these are the things we need art history for, because we can show them that your narrative of we're having something stolen is actually, it's a lie, and it's a very thin lie, and we just don't want people changing things out of political correctness is not actually true, and we can prove that with these images, you know.
Interesting.
So.
Very interesting.
And so we need these perspectives to show that the shammery of this outrage and this rewriting of history. You know, the same way with female artists. There's such an underrepresentation of female art in museums. And a lot of female art was actually, women would paint and men would put their names on it. That is a very important thing to understand.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. Like just being able to know, like furthering the knowledge, furthering education. Because at a certain point we only get just the surface, but being able to go beyond that. I mean, this is kind of what I'm gathering from what you've said. I mean, you've said what you said was very, very dense. There was a lot in there. But from no, it's okay. But what I'm trying to say is like, without that kind of additional education, we only get the surface of knowing certain things. That's kind of what I was gathering from that, like basically broad strokes of what you just said. But I don't know. I'm going to throw it to David. Let me hear his thoughts on this too. You haven't said much, David, so I'm just going to throw it to you. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree somewhat. I don't know much about the myth of or the Black Santa or whatever.
Yeah, that's new to me too. That the Black Santa thing is very, very new to me. But hey, come on back with the Black Santa, please. I'm all about a Black Santa, please.
But I do. I very much agree with the idea that there needs to be more people involved in creating the history of what's going on in the country. Like, we need more people from different backgrounds to talk about these things, because this is a known phenomenon. Leo Tolstoy talks about it a lot, but generally history, isn't what necessarily actually happened. It's a national myth based on like the victors generally. Like, we know like the victor decides history or whatever, and that's very much true. So in a lot of these cases, the kind of just, I don't know where it's going with that, to be honest.
Well, you find what you're looking for, if you see what I mean. If you only have if you're not looking for something, you're not going to find it. And if you are consciously not looking for it because it doesn't support your position of power culturally in a group, well, then it gets lost. And I think my point is just that art reflects us, and art reflects, even subconsciously, it shows us who we are and who we identify with, and it should not be a luxury for only those who are already advantaged to take all that power and monopolize it for them, because they make it an unaffordable luxury for everybody else, and everybody else is reduced to working and shopping.
I see what you're saying.
And
no, I see what you're saying. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's just dangerous, and also, if you think about it, well, what if how much hope people can, like now with I mean, I don't know. Here we've been in lockdown for months. People are stuck at home. They can't socialize. Mm-hmm. What do we have? We have books. We watch movies because we can't go outside. Well, if these don't reflect us as people, but they only reflect a very, very narrow view, then it affects who has quality of life. Because escapism doesn't work if you don't have anything you can identify with. Especially for youth that is stuck at home right now and can't interact. I have 2 teenage daughters, and they're in a very important phase in their life, but they can't interact with others. So they're in this isolation. Well, you know what? They need voices, and they need input that they can identify with, that can give them the escapism to deal with this.
And also being able to develop themselves as well as human beings, and being able to think for themselves, think outside the box, get the information that they need to know as far as other things in the world, other than just like rudimentary things like 2 + 2 = 4. But being able to become a well-rounded, shaped individual, and knowing more than just, like you said, just being a consumer, fighting, effing, and shitting all day. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, but that's what I mean. Like, or that's what I feel like. That's what I'm gathering from what you're saying, is like being more human than just. It's like a Rob Zombie song. It's like, more human than human. You know what I mean? Being more human, or as more beyond our potential as human beings as we can. And we can't do that if we're stuck or stopping at a certain level of, let's just say, education. If our education system only stays at a certain level, how are we going to be able to have free thinkers? How are we going to be able to have people who think outside the box, that move and change this world? If we stop at a certain level, then we have nothing. And that's what I'm getting from you. And I see what you're saying. It's like being able to look outside the box. But the thing is that the boxes in which we walk into, these elementary schools and these high schools, make us think in these boxes. But then with getting outside of that high school, going to a college, even a community college, allows us to be able to expand our minds and think outside of that box in which we have been stuck into, as far as the educational system as it is. So I definitely see your point there. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you giving your insight on that. And it is important. We do need to have that. because then we don't have anything. You know, we won't have Perseverance landing on Mars. You see what I'm saying? We won't have Al Sharptons. We won't have Martin Luther King's, let's just say juniors, for example. You know what I mean? We won't have those forward-thinking people out there that are willing to change and shift the way we look at the world, the way that we perceive the world. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely see that.
Exactly.
I definitely see what you're saying.
Well, the process, you're referencing, I don't know what the English term for it is. In German, we call it Menschwerdung, so becoming human. So it's the process of not just being biologically human, but becoming a full human, a mensch, like you would say in Yiddish too, be a mensch. It's more than just the act of physically maturing. It's the act of becoming whole or moving towards whole as a person. And giving only a very limited amount of people the power to shape the voices that guide us in our Menschwerdung is something that is a cultural apartheid,
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of people are struggling against very strongly. And the only solution to that is to find ways to give people access, like things that are not.
So then, real quick, sorry. So then, how can we give people access for those people who don't have the access to have access? You see what I'm saying? How can we give people an opportunity? Because there's a lot of brilliant minds out here that want to expand, that want to be above and beyond who they are as human beings. They want to expand their minds. They want to be educated. They have the means and the DNA to be the best and smartest person out there, right? But they don't have the money. They don't have the means.
Exactly.
So how does one become that? How does one get that kind of thing? This is fascinating to me.
The social democrat in me would say unionization, minimum wages, and free education. And that is, I live in a country where secondary education is free, and your parents are actually legally bound to, if they are able to finance you.
Yeah.
For your first. So if you go to university, say, and your parents have means, they are legally required to support you till you're done with your education, which is the cutoff is age 26. If you haven't managed it by then, well, then you're just on your own. But that, for instance, is something that people can actually have the choice to. And as I say, our university doesn't cost money because they tried to introduce fees, and it's not right, because then you end up with like the British system, where university costs money, and you have the same regurgence of the same people from the same families. We have an economic tendency to recreate monarchy through means of access, reducing access to education, private universities, private schooling, which is so bizarre, because we fought to get rid of this system because it was so sick, but we reinforce it by putting up these paywalls. And also in the school system, the school system is more than teaching children to do math. The school system, from my view, also has a mandate to help growth, personal growth, which you don't get that from standardized testing. There has to be room for reading. Is so important, especially for young children. Really making sure that children are solid in their learning abilities when they are young is so important. That's where money needs investing. You need extra teachers, and you need programs, afternoon programs, to actually enforce reading, and also textbooks are very politicized from state to state, and when you have standardized testing, you are requiring teachers to stick to a predetermined sort of, the children have to read certain books by a certain time, or they can't pass the mandatory testing. Well, you're taking the ability from teachers away to understand the room, to grasp children, because what will inspire children depends on who they are and what group you have. What is the mood? How does this group interact? But children should also be confronted with things that maybe upset somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, if I think of the inappropriate literature my parents have in their living room that I read as a child, I mean, it's absurd. But I read it. Even though it was like and like in school we read, of course, we had a course in our English course. It was a German school, but of course you have to take English. We did American literature, and we read, of course, Dr. King, but we also read Malcolm X.
Right. See, but that's the thing. It's like that's a totally different, like that's something interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the high school, like when it comes to like high school education and everything, there are certain things that were not, given to us as a reading curriculums and stuff like that. They didn't want to allow us to expand or find other things and expand our minds in a way. They were trying to shelter us from being able to read certain things. Like I had to go out and look for and find the autobiography of Malcolm X myself. That was not something that was in my curriculum. You Siri, might be were very lucky to be able to have something like that. But I had to personally go out there and find it myself. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. You know, that's what we need more than anything is educational programs and educational structure that allows students to really expand and try. I feel like everything's kind of, I'm not trying to knock all of education, you know what I mean? But I do feel like it is a little bit, at least over here in America, it's just a little bit more phoned in sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, present educator completely excluded because T is the bomb, and we all agree he's the bomb. It has nothing to do with his curriculum, but there's a lot of other schools that I feel like just kind of lowball and just phone it in. David, what were you going to say?
I mean, that's one of the things that is kind of the core of this problem here is that the literary canon for study in the Western schools is generally fairly small. I mean, we still use like the Greek version of Arabic names for like algebra and everything. I mean, so it's not really unusual in that sense.
Yeah.
But what I think we need to do is to expand. I mean, we really need to expand that kind of literary canon to include more things that were a factor in our history. Like there are a lot of things in our history that can represent multiple races that just get ignored. And one of the things that popped to my mind that particularly annoyed me was when BBC released this, it's like a mini series about the Trojan War. And they got some negative feedback because they made Achilles black. And they got the feedback because Achilles is white in the story. He's Greek. He's from Ionia, I believe. And so, some people were mad about that. But they were pushing it as this idea that it's supposed to be, acceptance and to show like that black people had some involvement in this. Except what they're doing is they're replacing they're not showing what black people did. They are taking white people and saying, look, black people could have done this. They just didn't. But what's really the case is like these things have you can find books that really go beyond this in a lot of cases. So for one of the things that comes to mind is that in the case of the Trojan War, there was, I think his name was Memnon. He's an actual Ethiopian leading an Ethiopian army that helped them siege Troy, but he's not in the movie. So they kind of want to recontextualize this to show like black history through only a white lens, but like, do you have actual Ethiopian? He was considered the best warrior, equal with Achilles, but he's not in there. They made Achilles black instead. He was known as a white blonde character with a white blonde cousin, and
that he be banging, that he be banging, that he be
yeah, a little
banging.
bit.
Yeah, he was banging him. Just so you know, that's in the stories, but they tend to throw that out the window in every other, whenever they do renditions of it. But yeah,
right.
sorry.
It's the same thing. Like, we act like a lot of places in Africa didn't have schools until the Islamic Caliphate, mostly the Persian Caliphate, pushed through Africa. That's not true. 2,000 years ago, there were black kingdoms and empires through southern Arabia and Spain and other areas. These places exist. Yeah, Timbuktu, Hymyar. There's a lot of places that mostly done by Sudanese and Ethiopians for some reason. I guess it's basically because they're on the Red Sea, so they can get through Arabia pretty quickly. It's geography is what it comes down to, is why it was mostly Sudanese and Ethiopians. But they have their stories in these cases. Like, throughout history, they've been tied in the same situations. Like, even when we look at World War II, we always look at it through like, oh, the British were working with the Africans in this case, or oh, the British are working with the Africans in this case. It's always done through the eyes purely of, in this case, the British white people. But what we don't see is these viewpoints from the people that were affected by it in a lot of cases. So, like, wouldn't it not make? Okay, Zulu is another movie that comes to mind. It's an example. It's a movie of the British Empire in Africa, and they pretty much get overwhelmed and wiped out by the Zulu. Except the entire movie is through the perspective of the British soldiers, and this is supposed to be a movie about Africa. Ultimately, it shows the Zulu. This might be apocryphal. It might be true. It might not. But it shows the Zulus kind of like saluting the British right before they wipe them out and everything. And this is not necessarily a true story. We do have, it's somewhat true. It's not entirely accurate. We do have, Zulu were not illiterate people. They didn't have a written language, but by that point they were writing in the English and French and Spanish at that point. It was starting to spread through there. Mm-hmm. It's not that they didn't have a language. They just didn't have a script form that they could write it in easily. This is pretty common through places that didn't have paper, just because paper is what makes it easy to write that way. But my point is here that we always have these stories. There are, like, Africans in a lot of these stories who play a primary role, but they never get paid attention to. Instead, when a black character is put forward, it's usually done by replacing the white character, like Achilles or something. And to me, says that I've noticed a lot in the BBC. It's kind of like they showed a lot of black Romans occupying Britain. That did not happen. What they're basically saying to me in this case is like, your history doesn't matter. We're just going to pretend you're part of our history because we don't want to worry about your actual history that is recorded. We just, we would have to read it. Right. So we're not going to do that.
Well, and also the Brits don't want to dig too deep into the whole racial issues. I mean, my father's from London. He swears to this day that racism didn't exist in England till after World War II, when the Americans came and brought their problems.
Right.
So, I mean, you just can't help yourself. The empire is strong, and it refuses to go away. It's horrible. I mean, we had the Gurkha problem, that the Gurkhas fought for generations for the British Army, but they weren't allowed immigration visas. They didn't get pensions. I mean, nothing. And they fought it to a few years ago. We finally got some recognition for the Gurkhas fighting in World War II. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the Brits, that's a whole other. Oh, that's a kettle of fish. I mean,
most definitely.
That's just. Well, but if you think about it, there is, for instance, when it comes to like British colonial history, Tom Sharp is actually. Well, he's a South African author. He writes satire. He actually got deported from South Africa for his satire about the apartheid system during apartheid. And he writes, books not suitable for children. I would like to put a disclaimer on that. He wrote them in the, I think, 70s about the South African system. God, it's vicious. And for some reason, he has an obsession with rubberized cheeks, which come up in every story. It's very bizarre.
Well, Siri, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off or anything, but I know that there's some other people that are trying to call in.
Yes,
This
I'm
has
sorry,
been a
I'm
very
hugging-
fascinating
I'm
conversation.
hugging your show again.
No,
I'm
it's
sorry.
okay. It's been a very fascinating conversation, and I would love to continue this another time. I just know that people are sitting here in the chat going, "Hey, I'm trying to call in," that kind of thing. I'm really, really sorry.
I
but-
apologize.
No,
I
it's
should not be
okay.
hugging your show. It's not my show.
No, it's okay. No, this is like I said, like this conversation is really, really great, and we definitely need to have this. We need to definitely put kind of like a book holder on this or something, and continue this another time for sure. So I appreciate you calling in. Seriously, thank you so much.
Yes, thanks for having me. Thanks for taking my call.
Anytime, Siri. All right.
You have a nice evening.
You too, sweetheart. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The phone lines are still open. I'm taking one last phone call. Yes, I'm taking one last phone call. I'm sorry, guys. And I'm so sorry, Siri. Really, really great conversation. We could have kept going for show. And I really appreciate you taking in the time. Mr. T just put in that it's 4:25 a.m. in Germany right now. So that says a lot that you came in to call in. And I really do appreciate that. Very, very intellectual, very heavily intellectual conversation there. Holy God. My brain's going to need a nap for like the next week. You know what I'm saying? But phone lines are open. Definitely give me a call, 314-766-4581. I know that somebody was just trying to call, and I just dropped a phone call with Germany, real talk, so that you could call in. So please call back in. So Sarah, call back in. I cut off Siri just so I can hear your phone call. So give me a call, 314-766-4581. I cut off Germany for you. Do you understand? That's some serious stuff, Sarah. There we go. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name and where you calling from?
What's up? It's Sarah in Ohio.
What's up, Sarah from Ohio? How you doing, sweetheart? Say hello, guys. T.
How you guys doing?
Say hello, T. Focus. What were you saying? How you doing, Sarah?
Focus, T. Focus.
Focus.
I apologize. I'm here.
Everybody's being all smart tonight, and I just wanted to call and talk shit about Ted Cruz.
Come on with the Ted Cruz. Come on. What are your thoughts?
Because that boy is straight garbage. After everybody's freezing their asses off, people's houses are flooding and simultaneously freezing over, and they're going to Walmart to warm up, and this asshole is going to Cancun. Like, I kind of can't even wrap my brain around the audacity that man must wake up with every day.
Yeah. I mean, what's funny to me is that he was so quick he was out there, and then he was quick to turn around and pull out some BS saying, oh, yeah. Oh, no. I was escorting my daughter out there. Escorting my daughter.
As if there's not receipts that he booked that at 6:30 this morning after he got shade all over the internet.
Yep, and he was on standby. He waited, and he was on standby. So he was on standby for crying out loud. So he had no plans on coming back at all.
Clearly, Texans will vote him in regardless, though. So, I mean, he doesn't have to come up with shit.
Yeah, that's true. But, you know,
Fly to Cancun, leave them all stranded and freezing, whatever.
Facts. But the funny thing is that I don't know. I think that Texas will not be – I don't think he's going to have a fighting chance ever again. I think Texas is not going to forget this. This is another level of just buffoonery and selfishness. What are you going to say, David?
He definitely came back at the last minute. They ended up finding his return, the manifest, and he was on the short rate list. So he basically bought the ticket at the last minute and was on the wait list to even get on the flight to get back. So he never planned to come back.
No, you saw the suitcase.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, you saw that suitcase, right? That big ass suitcase that he was dragging around. You know, for a fact, he was ready to get a tan. He was ready to drink some alcoholic drinks and hang out by the beach. That's what he was planning on doing.
He figured Yeah, he figured if they don't have power in Texas, they don't have Wi-Fi, they can't figure out where I am, I'm just going to, sneak off and,
Word.
yeah,
Right
that
there.
man is a piece of shit.
Thank
Royal
you.
piece of shit.
Yeah. So do you think this is going to, as far as like politically, do you think that this is going to affect him? I'm saying like right now. I'm not saying a few years from now when election comes up again. I'm saying right now. Do you think that this is going to turn into something? Go ahead.
I think his voters are going to turn on him big time. Like, I'm not sure if it was your show or Young Turks last night, but somebody said, like, I think it was your show where you said something about, could you imagine if there was, a real, like, catastrophe? Like, this is bad, but, like, could you imagine if there was a real catastrophe? And there has been. Like, he sucked during COVID, and now he's going to suck during this. Like, what else does Texas need to see that this is your leader? Like,
he left.
I mean, I just can't even, like I said, I can't even wrap my brain around leaving the people who voted for you and gave you the honor of leading them and representing them, and you're going to leave them. And his interview, how he's like, well, a lot of Texans, we're going through it right now, and my family's no exception. I'm sure that your mansion, where the power went out 5 minutes ago, is no comparison to, you know what I mean?
I totally agree.
Not to mention the fact that he's the one who's responsible for them not having regulations, for them not being ready for shit like this. The voters aren't responsible for that stuff. He is.
Yeah.
And so if he didn't have his house ready, you got to have your shit in order.
Absolutely. I think it's really funny when it's like, sorry, I just saw a random comment. Panda, bruh, I'm done. But the thing is like, I think it's very crazy how all of them, when ish hit the fan, they were so quick to start pointing the fingers at each other. So quick to point fingers at everybody else. Oh, it's their fault. No, it's their fault. No, it's each other's fault. It's like, no, everybody, it was an act of God. It was a freak accident. This is something that happens every century, for crying out loud. This is not something that happens like every year. This is something that you didn't know was going to happen, and it did. It was a huge surprise. So do what you can while you can. Quit blaming each other. Roll up your sleeves and start getting to work. But instead of him rolling up his sleeves, he rolled up his freaking suitcase and jumped on a plane and flew to Cancun.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's ridiculous. That's a new level.
And then had the nerve to sit in that airport in like short sleeves. I was like, oh, I want to punch you right now. I'm not even in Texas and I want to punch you.
Yeah, man.
No coat, no 6 layers, no long johns. Nope.
No, he was chilling. Maybe that's why he had that haircut too. He was ready for that vacation.
How hard would it be to set up one of these? Yeah. Like, how hard would it be to set up one of these sports centers or something like that with the generators that I'm sure that they have or something to offer these people, a place to be so they're not literally dying in their garage from carbon monoxide poisoning. It's another level of just disrespect. It's disgusting. I can't with them.
I agree, and that's a true story too, which is so sad that there are people that there were a couple or like a mother and father or mother and daughter that died.
Yes.
By turning on their car and trying to warm up themselves in the car, but they closed the garage and were asphyxiated from that.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah,
that is real because that's how desperate people are right now, trying to stay warm.
Yeah.
Houses and homes are burning to a crisp because of all kinds of things. People are now out of homes because water pipes are busting all over the place. There's literally like people's homes are just flooded with cold water. You know what I mean? Yeah. I even saw a photo and a video of a girl. Her bedroom froze over from all the water, and her goldfish was frozen to death.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like that I know there's like maybe small stuff, but at the same time, I mean, come on.
No, but still, everything's bad.
For sure. And
For sure.
and this guy is going on a trip to Cancun, living his best life.
As their senator.
Yep.
As their senator.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It just, like I said, it's like you couldn't be more like, I don't give a shit. Like you just couldn't, like, it's another level. It's really like, how horrible of a person can you be? You would dream up like the nightmare human and it wouldn't even touch Ted Cruz. Wouldn't even touch it.
Facts. Facts, and more facts.
Yep.
Sarah, thank you so much for calling in. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
No, for sure. I got to know one silly thing, though. What kind of puppies are they?
My puppies? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're like a mutt. So they're Dachshund, Yorkie, Poodle, and Maltese mix. But they look more
they're
like
little.
Yeah, they're little guys. And they're only they're still a few weeks old. Or they're, a couple weeks old. But yeah, they're cute as hell. They're cute as hell. I actually have one on my my YouTube story. So go check it out. I just we took them out. Took them out into the snow because my city got blasted with snow too. So they got to go and play in the snow, and I got to take a picture of one of them in the snow, and it's cute as hell. But you get to see it. It's right there in the YouTube story. So check it out if you can. That'd be great.
I will. Not to hog your lines, but I just had the honor of flying an Australian Labradoodle from Ohio to Phoenix. I literally just got back tonight. I was watching your show in the airport.
Wow.
And flew her to Phoenix to a family. The dad was diagnosed with possibly terminal brain cancer.
Okay.
And so, a friend of mine is a breeder, and she had gifted them with this dog, and she was the sweetest dog ever. And so I ended up flying there and got stuck in Phoenix for 24 hours, which is not a bad place to be stuck right now. And it's been an adventure, but it was a cool story. So when you said puppies, I was like, oh, I just did that.
Yeah. They're really cute when they're not yapping and crying. You know what I'm saying? When they're not screaming bloody murder.
They're no joke.
Wait a second, just so I know, just so I can understand, real quick, Sarah, before you take off. So you're not a flight attendant, so you just you basically escorted this puppy or this dog over to this family. That's a nice friend.
So we basically say we're like a puppy nanny, and so we just fly them to where they need to go, and
that's what's up.
Drop them off and exchange them and drive back.
That's dope.
So,
That's dope. I like that. That's not a bad job. That's not a bad gig,
No, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, wait. So was the dog in the plane with you, or was he put into luggage? I know that sounds weird, but how does that work? I've never flown with an animal.
He was in the plane with me.
Oh, okay.
You can, so it depends on the dog. You can, they can put them, with the cargo, I guess. But no, she flew with me. I took a soft carrier, and she just I had to pay for a ticket for her. Damn. And it's like a pet fee, not a full ticket. And then they had me put her under the seat in front of me, and she just stuck her little head out of the soft carrier the whole time. And then once we were up in the air, she just napped on my lap the rest of the time. So
that's what's up. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Sounds like a cute dog too.
It was way fun. It was a lot less fun flying home without her, to be real honest. I was like, oh, I missed my travel buddy.
Yeah. But that's nice though. That's really nice of the breeder sending that dog out too. That's really dope. I guarantee you that guy is probably
very story.
very appreciative of getting that dog. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah. But Sarah, thank you again for calling in. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Sure. You guys have a good night.
Have a good one. Good night.
Thanks, Sarah.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. That's the show today. David T, thank you so much for being in today. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, that's a good conversation.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we were going deep. That was the deep into the intellectual abyss right there. Shout out to everybody who called in. Shout out to Siri. Shout out to Sarah, Rob, and everybody else who either tried to call in or was trying to muster up enough courage to call into the show. I guarantee you, we are always open to hear everybody's thoughts and, talk about everything. So I hope you guys all have a great night. Please be sure to hit that like button down below if you haven't done that yet. I really do appreciate it. I'll be back on tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, doing what we do. You know what I'm saying? Talking all that mess and talking about the news and whatever else is going on. I might do an evening show on Friday and just do like a straight up phone call type of thing, chill out, hang out with everybody, have a cocktail. I mean, not me, but just have a drink, chill, and chop it up with you guys. I'm going to let you guys know tomorrow morning if I'm feeling up to it. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't done it yet, Mr. T, just put it into the chat. Definitely join that Discord. Please go join that Discord so that you know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? On the show and what things that we are going to be talking about and all that. Please join that Discord. And yeah, man, it's time to get going, y'all. You guys are amazing. Man, what an amazingly intelligent group of people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these guys are dumbasses. These guys are terrible. But everybody else who's been watching is just so incredibly smart. And it's so dope to be able to talk on that other level. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everybody for calling in. And I, again, Siri, the next time you call in, we can continue that conversation for sure. All right. And I'm looking forward to that conversation again. Anyway, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Have a great night, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Peace and wellness for the holidays. Don't cancel them. Prepare, STL. Decorate. Make it as normal as you can, but slow the spread of COVID. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Watch your distance. Prepare, STL, helping St. Louisans of color prepare and prevail.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Big guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, we have extra people to clean, rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have those little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.